when you get on it, you feel the torque.
You do.
Yeah, you feel it.
Right.
And you drive it like it's a 911.
Not exactly, but
Not exactly.
Not exactly. But this SUV, and I just call it my truck. Her name is Storm. The 911's name is Cyclone. Right. And in an overcast day, we might get some rain, and it's appropriate, right? But anyway, so now we're in
All
Storm.
purpose.
And you can kind of just feel it pull.
Yeah, it pulls really good.
Right? And so it's a quite capable vehicle, and it's very utilitarian even, right?
Okay.
The viewers can't see it, but I even got some dents in my dashboard from hauling lumber, right? So I'll take it to Home Depot, and it'll do its thing, and I'll take it to Kroger and Publix, and it's very, very adaptable vehicle, you know? And it's also hurt some feelings out here just in space. You know, because as I mentioned earlier, in the Porsche world, people get it, right? But to the rest of the world, this is an SUV. They don't really look at it and get it and appreciate what it really is.
And why do you think that is?
Because they're just not educated. They don't care to know. Most people treat vehicles as utensils, right? They do.
Appliances.
It's an appliance to get you from A to B, and they don't always care to have the appreciation for the vehicles around you, right? So I was talking to somebody yesterday, it was literally yesterday, and they said, do you just love Porsches, or are you just like a car guy? I said, I love all cars.
Right.
I absolutely love all cars. And every vehicle that we're gonna see, just as we're driving, everything that I see every day, I can find something in that vehicle that I can appreciate.
Right.
I love cars, right? From the Yugo to the Bentley, to the McLarens, everything. The Yugo, you know why? Because you know what?
But the Yugo didn't go.
It did. I had a buddy in college who had a Yugo, and he drove that joker from New Jersey to Alabama, back and forth plenty of times. And here's why I like the Yugo. It's the same reason I like Waffle House. It's honest.
Okay.
It's basic. It makes no pretense about what it is, but for what you needed to do, it got it done.
Listen.
And it was a manual.
Well, I mean,
why can't you love a manual?
If you doing the Yugo, you might as well throw the Fiat in there.
You could, well, I don't know about.
I mean, you might as well throw the Fiat in there.
Well,
and you know, I preach, it's not just the entry cost into the Porsche brand, but it's the overall cost of ownership.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about the cost of ownership with this, because you got a little age on it.
Yeah.
And we're about to hit a bump here, and the car's still tight.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in cars where you get, 20,000 miles on it, you hit a bump, you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
But this car is tight. But tell me over the period.
So I'm going to say this to anybody who's looking to buy a Porsche, understand that preventative maintenance is key.
Okay.
You want to take care of your car like anything else. Your house, your
colon,
your health, all of those things. You want to take care of those things. So we're going to get here, and I'm having a good time. We're going to hit this Interstate North here. And so you want to do your preventative maintenance. Now, my lifetime with Porsche's been one of the most reliable vehicles I've ever owned.
Okay.
And by far, right? That first 911 I owned, literally just the wear products was the only thing I had to worry about. Brakes, oil, that sort of stuff, right? The maintenance items. It was solid. It felt like it was just charged out of one piece of steel. Okay. Just carved, right? Now, my more current vehicles, very reliable vehicles as well, but you do run into some things, right? So I had to spend some money. My air controller for my air suspension went out. Okay. And I had to get that fixed. But other than that, it's really just been maintenance items. Okay. Right? So why that went out, I don't know, but maybe I'm one of the unlucky ones.
So can you speak to, there are some people that think that they can keep their car new by not driving it, or keeping the miles down is going to keep me away from the service intervals. So how does that work in your mind?
Man, I believe that cars are meant to be driven.
Okay.
Period. Why buy the car if you're not going to drive it? Now, there is a class of people who have the disposable income where they can collect cars and do those sorts of things, and I'm not talking about that, right? But if you're going to drive a car, if you're going to drive a Porsche, why would you not want to experience everything it can offer you on a daily? Why would you park this to drive a Camry? Or a Highlander, or what have you, right? You bought a Porsche, drive your Porsche. Every day, a Porsche owner deserves to experience everything a Porsche can offer. Period. I've owned probably more cars than I should have in my life, and maybe we can have that conversation another time. but I've only purchased one new car in my entire life.
Okay.
And I've had Mercedes, I've had BMWs, Porsches, obviously, Volkswagens. But the point of it is this: when you buy pre-owned, you got to make sure you get a solid warranty, right? A solid maintenance plan, right? Mm-hmm. And you got to make sure you understand what it does and does not cover before you spend your money on that plan.
And that's where people get got.
That people get got like that way too often. So be smart about that, so that you're not getting got, but you can still purchase a good vehicle used, but get the protection. Get the protection. You know, why would you not? You have auto insurance, you have homeowners insurance, you have health insurance, you have life insurance. Get you some maintenance insurance. That's going to be valuable.